You're very welcome to the fine city of Coventry. Will be the city of culture next year, so apt that Mick Hennessy, in association with John Pegg, bringing big time boxing back to this city. It's been 10 years since Rendell Munro fought a WBC super bantamweight eliminator in this city, so the Skydome is going to have a fantastic night of boxing, championship boxing of course. You can see this beautiful belt in front of us, what these two gents are going to compete for, the vacant British light heavyweight title. But of course it's a packed bill, a fantastic undercard, derbies including Jordan Cook against Michael Green, there's Ishmael Ellis against Sean Cooper, River Wilson Ben, Lee Gunter, and then a bill that includes the likes of Isaac Chamberlain, who of course wants to make a big statement in the cruiserweight division as well after beating Luke Watkins last time out. Michael Hennessy Jr. on the bill, and we'll see shortly as well Sam Eggington will join us here at the top table. But of course it's a great opportunity for lots of local fighters to bring their fan bases to the Skydome in Coventry. If anyone is unaware, tickets still available from the venue, from the fighters themselves, and of course from Hennessy Sports. But it is fantastic, live on Channel 5, in association with Infinitum and Ladbrokes. Massive showcase for all these young fighters to show what they're all about and take that next step in their journey. We've got not only an esteemed top table here as well, which we'll get to in just a short while, but of course the fighters that are in front of you now, what an opportunity for all of them. And again, with so much action and so much that we can look forward to, we've got Tom Silcox. And Tom, again, you're going to be in action against Des Newton. So Tom, try and put into words what it's going to be fighting at the Skydome for you.
Extremely appreciative of this opportunity. Put on a good solid performance. He's definitely going to know that I've left no stone unturned for this fight. Been putting in the graft, and to be part of such a massive show, you know, on a different stage, a different ring under different lights, I'm definitely going to show what I'm made of, and I appreciate this opportunity. So thank you to everyone that's been involved.
Well, lots of Midlands, sorry Tom, lots of Midlands fighters of course are in action as well, and hometown boy Luke Beasley, again, Coventry is going to be in the forefront. It's an opportunity now. We see all the fine cities around the UK. Is this an opportunity then for Coventry to show what it can do?
Yeah, it's good to see big boxing back in Coventry. I'm excited to get back in there, return to the ring and put on a good show, show everyone what I'm about. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Another unbeaten fighter as well on the table below is Lewis Coley, super featherweight from Birmingham. And again, Birmingham's had a bit of attention, obviously some stellar names. We mentioned Sam Eggington before, and obviously the stellar Birmingham names on this card as well. And again, it's not too far down the road, a big fan base, a big opportunity for everyone to do a few tickets. You're looking forward to this one as well, Lewis?
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm not used to doing all of this speaking, really. I'm just here ready to fight.
Of course, I mentioned before that obviously we have some Midlands derbies, we've got Coventry derbies, and we've got a great main event as well. But we do have at the table as well, we've got Jordan Cook. Jordan, again, we're looking at this, and we're looking at the opportunities that obviously fighters have. And again, this one, it is an all Coventry derby against Michael Green. So give us your thoughts ahead of this one.
Yeah, it's a fight I really can't wait for. I spoke to my manager John Pegg at the start of the year. And he said there was going to be a big show in Coventry, which is going to be on Channel 5. And the idea was maybe to have another tune-up fight after my win in November. And as soon as it was going to be in Coventry, I thought, why not have an all-Coventry clash with Michael Green? I knew we were both the same weight. It's great that big-time boxing's back in the city. And yeah, so he come back to me the week after saying Green's accepted the fight, and here we are, 3 weeks ago, can't wait.
Now obviously, you know, you're bringing certain things to the table. Southpaw, you've got just a couple of blips on your record. Slightly more experience as a pro, but obviously he's got a few years advantage on you in terms of age-wise. So how do you see it's going to go on the night?
I think it's going to be a good fight. I see it as a real 50-50 fight, to be honest. As I said, you know, I could have just, you know, took another tune-up fight. I had my first fight back in November. Yeah, but it's, you know, it's a great fight for the card. I believe that people from Coventry are in for a treat. It's going to be a great fight.
I'd like to welcome to the top table Sam Eggington, of course, who you all know as well, with a nice shiny belt there in front of him. Big year ahead for him. But Michael, your chance, right to reply again. You know, you're 30 now, 5-1, but again, it's a hometown fight. It's got everyone talking about this as well. Are you going to steal the show, you two lads?
Yeah, I think the clash of styles is really gonna bring some fireworks to the show. John's a good fighter. I'm expecting a really tough fight, but I've trained really hard, probably the hardest I've ever trained. And this fight's coming at just the right time for me. So I'm about to show everyone what I'm about.
With two fellas that know each other, is it a case of respect? Is it needle? You try and tell us exactly how it's going to pan out on the night.
There's no needle between me and Jordan. There's nothing been said. I've got respect for him as a fighter. I don't know him personally, so I can't really comment on that. But it's just business at the end of the day. Come the 28th of March, I'm coming there to win. Put everything on the line, I'm doing whatever it takes to win.
And as you are two Coventry men, again, the fan bases will be there, you both have your supporters there, and again, what's it going to be like in terms of trying to bring the boxing back? Coventry needs hometown fighters, obviously, if boxing's going to keep coming here.
Yeah, definitely, and it needs some entertaining fights. We've got the platform, just need to perform now. I think it's about time big time boxing come back to Coventry. It's been, 10, 12 years now, and there's a massive fan base here. I tell you now, when the big shows get rolling, you're going to see the fan base pour in. I can guarantee you that.
Well, Ishmael Ellis, Sean Cooper, that's another one in the lightweight division as well that we're looking forward to. It's Birmingham against Walsall. I'll start with you, Sean. What's going to happen on this one? And again, it's another intriguing one in terms of, you know, the two similar records. You're 10-1, obviously you're facing Ishmael who's 11-2, and both with your own ambitions. So again, somewhat firstly, the opportunity live on Channel 5, and then what we can expect come fight night.
Yeah, I'm grateful to be on this big show again. I think it's going to be a good fight, 50-50. Ishmael is good, but I'll put everything into the training. A new trainer, new ideas, new things. It's working great, and I think come 28th of March, you'll see a different me.
And likewise, right to reply then. Issues. Well, I was going to say this. It's not here. It's not coming to the room yet. It's right. Okay, but obviously we're looking at this now. If you've got all the kind of, you believe, the tools to get the job done, and again you have to try and make a statement here again. And what is it? Is the kind of, in terms of Birmingham, Walsall, and that kind of part of the West Midlands, what is it like rivalry-wise?
I don't have no rival against Ishmael. So I've got mutual respect, but I think come fight night, it's going to be different. So I'm going to be. This is all I've got. I've got to put everything onto this to get to the next step. So, you know, I've trained really hard for this, and I've put everything in. So I'm going to come out and win.
Well, also on the bill, I mentioned obviously some of the fighters. We've got Danny Quartermain here from Leamington as well, who's got a big opportunity, just starting out in the pro ranks as well, but a really seasoned amateur. And again, I know that Danny, you feel that there's great times ahead for you. This will be your second fight, but you've got lots of experience fighting lads from the GB setup and everything else. So, what are you going to show on the night?
Obviously, I'm an experienced amateur, starting off obviously fresh in the pro game, so it's a whole new level for me. But I'm looking forward to getting a few fights under my belt, looking to go 6 to 8 rounds. Those that know me from the amateurs know I've got a great engine on me, so I'm just going to showcase that throughout these fights.
Look forward to that. Now, moving on to the top table, and of course the main event. Before we get to that, we do have Sam Eggington. And Sam, you've been on something of a winning streak, of course, since the blip against Liam Smith. You've got that belt in front of you as well. Still just 26, the Savage, even though it seems that you've been around forever. How are you feeling these days?
I feel good, mate, yeah. Like you say, there's been a little blip, but nothing changes. You know, we get back in the gym, train, and we're going to win the next fight. And every time, you know, there has been a little blip, and people start thinking maybe, you know, it's time to pack it in. You know, we turn up and have a big win, you know, and win titles. So, you know, this is just another one of them. I want to come in, get this kid out of the way, and move on.
And you have grown into the light middleweight division now. Obviously,
Yeah.
you were killing yourself at welter, and now, do you feel now at 26? And again, I keep mentioning the age because it does seem crazy how young you still are after achieving so much. And we know your story. You thought you were going to be a journeyman, then you started winning.
Yeah.
It started getting serious, and then you started winning belts, Commonwealth titles, all the rest of it. We can see what you got in front of you there. So again, you still feel that the best is still to come now that you've grown into that weight, and you feel happier at that weight.
Yeah, 100%. Like you say, I'm 26. If anything, I'm coming to my prime. You know, the people that moan about the losses are the same people that moan about there's no 50-50 fights, and when you do take them, people moan when you lose. So it's just people are always gonna have their opinion. I'm 26. I'm coming into my prime. I'm growing into the weight quite well. And like I say, this should be a very good year.
Bit of a throwback fighter. Your trainer John Pegg, would you agree with that?
Yeah, Sam's just really easy to work with. He wants to fight. He doesn't let it get him down. When, if you have 10 50-50s, you're going to lose a couple of them. But he just learns off them, comes back a better fighter. It's just a way of going forward. And Sam boxing on a show like this in Coventry on terrestrial TV. Again, it's just Sam taking his chances when they come, getting ready to go. Same as all the lads here. When we talk to Michael Green and Jordan Cook and Ishmael Ellis and Sean Cooper, you think that they might be like, oh, that's a bit of a tricky one. Can I get... They was like, no, that's great. That's the kind of fight I want. My fans will love it and I'm ready to fight. And that's what I meant for a good show. You don't have to have huge titles on every fight. If they're good, well-matched fights, boxing fans appreciate them. And people are really appreciating the fact that local lads are prepared to fight each other on the undercard, as well as a great top of the bill. So what more can you ask for?
Well, beautifully leads me to the top of the bill. And as you're talking about Sam there, we'll get your thoughts obviously about the fellow alongside me to my right. But we'll start with Chad Sugden, trainer, father, Dean alongside you there. Now, Dean, just give us an insight in case it's an opportunity now. We know that obviously Craig Richards was due to fight. It was a different situation. But again, we just heard John about taking opportunities. Sum it up now for your lad here.
We've only ever known 50-50 fights. We come from a kickboxing background, everybody knows that. But we've been involved in boxing for many years too. Chad boxes an amateur from the age of 11, alongside kickboxing. But in the kickboxing world, it's very different. Every fight's a challenge. And when I say 50-50, we've been the underdog on many occasions throughout his whole career. But we thrive on that. We thrive on having real fights. That's what we've been brought up on, and that's why we're here. So this is a great opportunity. It's a great challenge, and I believe it's a 50-50 fight. May the best man win.
Well, obviously the draw with Craig Richards shows that Chad it belongs in a esteemed company. But in terms of training and taking a fight relatively late, how's that worked?
Well, when we got a phone call asking if we'd fight on the undercard, there was a strong feeling in the world of boxing that we might lose Craig Richards, and that feeling came true. So for us to train for a 6-round fight and not a 12-round fight when we felt that was a possibility would have been stupid. So we've been preparing for 12 rounds right from the beginning, even when we were offered the 6-rounder. So when that phone call actually came in, it wasn't, oh my God, we better start training for 12. We were already training for 12, and we've left no stone unturned. We've had good preparation for this fight, so we're going to be in the best shape ever.
Well, likewise to John, because obviously again when you're training and you're preparing for a certain opponent and then that falls through, you've got to adapt as well. Obviously they want to take their opportunity. How do you keep Shakan on the straight and narrow in terms of concentrating, focusing on a different job, a different opponent?
To be fair, that's Paul Coonahan's job. I work with Paul, but Paul's Shakan's trainer. I manage him and we work together in the gym and stuff. But Paul was already planning for that. As Dean said, there was kind of a feeling that Richard might not box for whatever reason. So Paul was looking at the guys who he knew was ready to fight, and he was already keeping the sparring kind of quite open, and Paul was already planning ahead, as Dean says. So to be fair, Paul had already got that into place, and he'd already got ready that there might be a change. Again, he anticipated there might be a change, and he put a training regime and a plan into place for that. So we won't turn around and say, oh, the opponent changed, because like Chad, we had a feeling. So we've been getting ready for a different opportunity as well. So again, Shaq will be ready, same as Chad's just said, he's going to be ready.
50-50 fight, would you go along with that?
It's a great fight. It's as close as 50-50 as can be, because Craig Richards and Shaq was a 50-50 fight, and Chad drew with Craig Richards. So yeah, it's a 50-50 fight. It's two young guys wanting to win the title, basically.
And Chad, then, we know about your kickboxing background, and again, people from that background tend to be tough characters. I suppose you felt pain in a different way that you do in a boxing ring, but does that mean that nothing phases you when it comes to your boxing career now?
I think if I said nothing phases me, then I wouldn't be getting ready like I am for the fight. Obviously, Shakan's a good fighter, and I'm looking forward to putting my skills on show on the night, to be honest. And I'm not worried about the fight. We both have to meet the same weight. Everyone's like, oh, he's 6'6". I'm like, he meets light heavy just like I do. So what he gains in height, I believe I gain in other areas, and it's a good fight.
You mentioned that we've seen you stand together. There is the obvious, I suppose, the advantage is the long levers, all the rest of it. So, without giving your game plan away, how do you win this fight?
Like I win every other fight. Like I adapt to every time I fight someone different, and I believe my experience in. I've been fighting since I was 7 years of age in martial arts and other combat sports. It runs in my blood, and that's what I do. So on the night, I find a way to win. We've been training for Shaq now. We knew he was always going to be in the pipeline because I couldn't see anyone else beating him up to this level. So we're ready for it. And when Craig Richards pulled out, he gave me the opportunity in December. He's done me another favour. He gave me a shot at the British title. So, do you know what I mean? I can't take anything away from Richards. He's given me my opportunity, and it's going to be a pleasure to get in there on Channel 5 and terrestrial TV and showcase my skills.
And do you feel there's no pressure on you, given what's happened?
The pressure's all put on by yourself. People can put pressure from the outside, but no one knows what it actually takes to get in there, except for these boys sat in front of me, and myself and Shakan and Sam. So I'm looking forward to it, and diamonds are made under high pressure, do you know what I mean? So I believe I perform better the bigger the stage, and I wish to prove that on March 28th.
They don't come much prettier than these belts either, do they?
Mate, it's the best belt in the world. It's obviously you got the world titles and stuff like that, but that belt there, it's what every British boxer wants. So.
Well, Shaq, I'll ask you, because obviously we've heard from John in terms of preparations. How's it been refocusing the mind, if you like, from Craig to Chad?
Preparation's been brilliant. We've had a brilliant camp in Dubai, even down here in our gym. Our gym's always thriving. But it's something, as professionals, we've got to get used to. These things happen, opponents change, and you've got to learn to adapt. I've learned to adapt from, throughout all my fights, really. I've had changes before, and we kind of had an inkling again, as John was saying, that, Craig was going to pull out the fight, and that's what's happened. Chad's a worthy opponent. He stepped in, fair play to him. But I believe, like I said, it's a fight that I'm going to win, and my skills are going to prevail, and everyone will see again.
Now you're 13-0, and it's a really good domestic division as well. I mean, there are other fights being made. If you are to get the better of Chad, get your hands on that, I suppose that's going to open up all sorts of doors for you. We see fights like Anthony Yard and Lyndon Arthur, which is another fantastic clash. You want to be king of the domestic crew first and foremost. You get that. That's exactly where you'll be. That's the case, isn't it?
Of course. I mean, the main focus. I can't look past March 28th. As I say, Chad's a tough opponent. He's coming from a fighting background. He's going to obviously, give his all, given this opportunity. But that bout's going to be around my waist, March 28th. My hands are going to be getting raised, and that's what I've got to say about that.
We mentioned the size difference before, again, and likewise, you're not going to tell me too much in terms of what you intend to do, but again, what kind of problems will that pose? A totally different kind of fighter that you're going to face, and again, you have that massive height advantage.
The thing is, for me, a lot of people take into account my height and they look, and say, oh, it's a tall fighter, and obviously they approach it more or less similar, feeling that, okay, this guy is just a tall guy who's just use range, but I've got many arsenals to my game. For me, I've fought someone on, like Chad's height and, skill set, whatever. Has he faced someone who's 6'6" with my skill set? I highly doubt it. But as I say, come March 28th, always going to be shown. And like I said, my skills will prevail. Everyone will see it on the night, and it'll be a good display of boxing for myself.
Well, ladies and gents, all the fighters here will be available for one-on-one interviews now for anyone who'd like to talk to them. But obviously, this is live on Channel 5, the Skydome Coventry, big-time boxing, championship boxing, returning to this city, just ahead of the City of Culture 2021 as well, so perfect timing. Of course, it is Hennessy Sports in association with John Pegg and Eastside Boxing, in association with Ladbrokes and Infinitum, live on Channel 5. And don't forget as well, tickets available from the venue, from Hennessy Sports, and also from the fine gentlemen that are here in the room as well. So if you'd like to take your opportunity to speak to the fighters, then you can do so. I think we're going to have, as the table breaks up, if we can just ask Jordan and Michael to stay behind for a quick head-to-head as well. And the rest, thank you very much indeed for your attention. We look forward to a fantastic night of boxing on March the 28th right here in Coventry. Thank you.